Hey guys, I am gonna wait just a couple of seconds or minutes, whatever, to see if some peeps pop on. I know that it is Sunday and people are probably spending lots of time with their family over the holiday weekend, but I wanted to come on and chat with you guys about I wouldn't say top 5, but 5 tips about sponsoring and mentoring that you need to know. So like I said, I'm going to wait just another minute or so before I get started. Wi-Fi has been like a whole situation. We are out of town and I have zero service in the hotel that we're at. Even with Wi-Fi, it won't open anything. So if you're popping on, say hey to me. And I am gonna go ahead and get started. So my first tip is to sponsor your very best customer. I know that can be super scary when it comes to sponsoring your best customer because you are worried about losing that initial PRV. However, your very best customer will make a phenomenal consultant for a couple of reasons. Yes, you are going to lose that initial PRV, but you are going to get paid back over and over and over if they continue to sell, right? So you don't want to force your best customer into being a team member, but your best customer is already prepared and ready to be a consultant because they love the product. And I have found that the people that love the product the most are always super successful. Another reason why you want to sponsor your best customer is because they can take care of their people better than you ever could. They can take care of those people because they have a relationship with those people. They already know them. So for instance, if your best customer does a party for you all the time, they are going to be able to take care of those customers and those people better. Okay. And then obviously residual income. So residual income means that you continue to make money even while you sleep. And that is something that can never be replaced. Like I said earlier, yes, you're going to lose that initial 25%. If you are a certified consultant, maybe 30% if you meet that monthly sales bonus. However, they are going to continue to build and bring in PRV that's going to build you income. Hi, Lori. How are you? My second tip is to make sponsoring your lifestyle. So you need to see the opportunity in everyone. Everyone. You do not have the responsibility of saying yes for someone. That also goes the same way for no. You don't have the responsibility of saying no for someone. So do not cancel someone out or not ask someone because you think that they will say no. You never know what is going on behind closed doors. You don't know what is going on within people's lives. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, people's circumstances change within 30 seconds. Every single day, people's circumstances change and you never know when they are going to need that opportunity. Hey, girl. So don't let your mind and your opinions say no for people. That is not your responsibility. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. When it also comes to sponsoring your lifestyle, you cannot just sponsor during an incentive period. That is not what leaders do. Leaders sponsor year-round. Sponsoring for an incentive period means that you're making it about you. It should never be about you. It should always be about them and how Scentsy can bless them. Because if you are making it about you, people are going to see right through that. And I'm going to be honest, God's not going to bless that. God is going to bless you when you continue to bless all the people. When you continue to bless everyone you meet, that is when your business is going to change. When it also comes to, so once again, back to sponsoring your lifestyle, build your A team, y'all. Build your A team. Who do you want out there sharing Scentsy with the world? Your A team. It doesn't matter if they're a lawyer, if they're a doctor, if they have a high school diploma, if they don't. Build your A team. You don't get to decide who's going to do well in this business. And sometimes the people that we think are going to do really well don't. But you want to go and build your A team. Bless every single person you meet. Bless every single person you meet. When I say that, that means when you go to a restaurant and you have some bomb customer service, please, for the love of Jesus, let that waitress know that she can get paid back and that she can have an opportunity that's going to pay her back based on her work ethic. Because let's be honest. If someone is a waitress and they go to a restaurant and yes, there's like 15%, 20%, whatever people are supposed to tip. How many times do people not do that, right? But she could be working her tail off for those tips and still not make it. But you can work your tail off with Scentsy and your paycheck is going to prove that for you. Your work ethic is going to build your paycheck if you're going to work on the right things. So make sponsoring your lifestyle. Tip number 3 I have for sponsoring and mentoring is you need to know your why and you need to know your team's why. Know your why and know your team's why. What in the world is going to get you out of bed in the morning when you don't feel like you can move? What in the world is going to get you out of bed in the morning when you are so far deep in depression that you just don't want to do anything? What is going to make you get up and work when you don't want to? You need to know your why, because sponsoring is something that can be super discouraging when you're getting a lot of no's. But guess what? The yeses live in the land of the no's. And the only difference between a superstar director and a brand new certified or essential consultant is the amount of no's that we've heard. We are unwilling to let a no derail our path, because number one, we know that no doesn't mean no forever, and just because this isn't for someone, it can be for the next one. And just because you ask somebody today doesn't mean that their circumstance isn't going to change next week and them come to you and say, hey, remember that opportunity? I need it. Because guys, if you don't know that there are people laying in bed right now praying for an opportunity like what we have, you need to build that belief in this company and build that belief in yourself. So know your why, and then also know your team's why. So when you have someone join your team, you need to know why they joined. You need to know why they joined. Did they join just to buy from themselves? Or did they join, hey girl, did they join to want to build replacement income? Because that matters. It matters how you train people, because you can train people out, honestly. If you are pushy and you are trying to get someone to do something that they don't want to do, or to be something that they don't want to be, they'll just ghost you, right? They'll just stop paying attention to you. So know why they joined, because it definitely makes a difference. But also know that whys can change. Whys can change. I didn't join Scentsy to plan to quit my teaching job. That's not why I joined. But COVID happened and Scentsy was my way out. I didn't have that plan, but God did. God had put this in my lap and gave me this vision that I never could have even imagined. I couldn't imagine this life right now. I can't, and there's just no words for it. So knowing their why and their goals. So, and once again, when it comes to mentoring, as people join and as people catch the vision, some people may just join initially to just get paid back on their own purchases. However, once they see how great this business can be, sometimes that changes. So you can always reevaluate that. All right. And your why is also going to change. Tip number 4 and this is going more towards the mentoring aspect of this. Once someone joins your team, my tip number 4 is to set an expectation of independence. You want to create leaders, not leeches. Period. Create leaders, not leeches. I am not a 24-hour Walgreens. I cannot be there to solve your problems all the time. Can't do it. I cannot do it. You need to coach your team to solve their problems. Now, in saying that, that doesn't mean someone joins your team and you just leave them high and dry. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. However, we do have to set the expectation of independence. So when saying that is teach them how to find things. And when I say teach them, that doesn't mean just go find it for them. That means show them or give them a video or whatever to teach them how to find that information. Because people are going to remember that information 3 times more than if you just told them. And if you are just giving people information all the time, they're just going to keep doing it because you are not Google. And you will have, if you haven't yet, you will have a team member that joins your team that thinks you're Google. That anytime they think of anything, they're just going to text you. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. or it's a family day and you said that you were off, or you just had a death in the family. They're not going to care. They're going to Google you. They're going to pretend like you're Google. So you have to set that expectation of independence. Teach them the chain of command, going from your workstation to your sponsor, to your director, to your superstar director. But you also want to do this with love. You don't want to just make people think that you're not available to them. But when setting those expectations, you just have to be a nice person. Because you have to remember that what you do for 1, you want to be able to do for 10, for 20, for 100, for 1,000, for 10,000. If you really want to grow this business big, that is the reality that you're dealing with. It's going to be so easy to answer your 2 team members whenever they have questions. But when your team eventually grows, I have a group now of a little over 1,800 people. If 1,800 people were texting me, asking me questions all the time, and there wasn't the correct chain of command and people weren't doing what they were supposed to do, you would never be able to work your business. So set an expectation of independence. And when it comes to that is training your people for success. So training them when they first join, meaning helping them with their launch party, etc. And tip number 5, this is something that I have found that is so important when it comes to launching a new person's business. Focus on action, not training. Action, not training. Ignorance on fire is so much better and so much more effective than knowledge on ice. Because the fact that we give these people all this information, it's like word vomit. And then what do overwhelmed people do? Nothing. Overwhelmed people do nothing. So somebody that is super excited but doesn't have a clue what they're doing, you can use that energy and harness it and put it into actionable tasks rather than giving them 5 million training videos so that they get overwhelmed. So what I mean by that, once again, tip number 5 is action, not training. Yes, you're going to have to train them, but too many people focus on overtraining instead of giving people actionable tasks. So give your new person the task of opening their starter kit live. Give them that task. That is an action. They don't have to know what to say. You can coach them through, say, hey, take out your product training guide. It's in there. And if they don't want to open it live, like literally right out of the box, let them peek at it. Tell them to peek at it and like plan a couple points that they want to say. But that is an actionable task. Give them the task of announcing on social media that they are a consultant. Do you know how many people join that never even announce that they joined? A lot. I wish I had a statistic. But a lot of people will join and get overwhelmed and never even announce that they joined. So give them the task of announcing that they are a consultant. Give them the task of making their Frank's list or list of 100 or whatever it is that your team calls it or you decide to call it. Give them that task. And when I say that, it's sort of like, the teacher and me, like a homework assignment, right? So give them that task. Let them prove to you that they made their list. Don't say, oh, you have to have 100 people on your list before you text me back. That's too overwhelming. That's why I don't even call it that anymore. I don't like it because a list of 100 really overwhelmed me. Okay? So give them the task of completing their first things first checklist. Give them the task of writing down their absolute favorite 6-pack. Give them the task of finding 3 people that they can personally reach out to ask if they want to support their new business. Give them the task of opening up a launch party. Do you know how mind-blowing it is to me that people join and don't do that. And I honestly think that it's because they get overwhelmed. So break it down into small actionable tasks. You're going to get some people that want 110% of the information from the moment they join, and that's okay. You can run with that. Some people like that. But I know that for me, when I first joined, we didn't have any of these things. And I know Wendy and Rihanna and all them, they can agree that we didn't have any of the trainings that are out there. Listen, y'all. Listen. It is 2021. Ignorance is a choice. Just saying. Anything that anybody wants to know about Scentsy, they can go on YouTube and figure it out. In 2021, ignorance is a choice, right? But we don't have to. Okay, good. I'm back. Hopefully that caught up with you guys. Okay, so last thing that I was going to say is ignorance is a choice. I am so sorry if you were getting the pausing. I'm going through like a little congested area. I'm almost done anyway. But action, not training. So when you ask them to set up their launch party, when you ask them to do all those things, have them prove that to you. And just know that you are their person, but you don't have to be their person 24/7. Okay? And then the last thing, this isn't really a tip that I had written down, but one other thing that I have done that has saved me a lot of time is I use the I use the app Google Keep. And it just links right to all of my Google stuff. And I have lots of different like verbiage saved in my phone so that when I am texting a new consultant about doing their Frank's list or telling them to set up their launch party or whatever it is, I have that verbiage saved. A lot of people do text replacements in their phone as well. If you have an iPhone, I know you can do text replacements. Some people do that as well. I've just found that I tried to do that and it didn't work for me. So I just use Google Keep and I have lots of different things like that saved. So because especially like with hosts, etc., if you have a host and you're telling them about their host rewards, a lot of people have that kind of stuff saved because it just is so much easier. So work smarter, not harder when it comes to those types of things. But I appreciate y'all and thank y'all so much for asking me to come on here and chat with y'all. It was so good. Real quick, I'm going to go over the 5 tips that I talked about. Number 1 was sponsoring your best customer. Number 2 is make sponsoring a lifestyle. Number 3 is know your why and your team's why. Number 4, set an expectation of independence. And tip number 5 is focus on action, not training. All right. Well, I will chat with you guys later. And if you have any questions, I am more than happy to help y'all. Love y'all. Mean it.